Well, hello everybody. I hope you're all doing good. And I hope you get notification that I am live because I know this is normally the problem when we don't get notification that I am live. But I will carry on as I can't actually stay too long or my usual casual um, hour because I have to go get some stuff done. But I figured for a few reasons I'm going to do this live feed. Number one, uh, thanks to heavily shadow ban going on, some of you told me that you don't see my post unless it's a live feed. So I figured I'd do the updates while live feed. I think if I click this, it's going to have a echo back. Will it? Lord have mercy. I hope not. I'm going to do it. Everybody, I think if I click this, it's going to. It did. I'm sorry. That was like literally a split second, but I got it. I just want to make sure I'm seeing everything and everyone. And if somebody could possibly make a comment, so I know the system I'm working with will show me the comments. If not, then I have to do it differently. Anyhow, okay, updates. For those of you who might have completely missed the whole project because of shadow ban, we had a special programming. Hello, Franklin. Perfect. Hi, Mike. Yay, we are on. Perfect. Um, we had a 4-hour special broadcasting uh, for September 11. If you missed it, that's all right. It is available now on our website, liveuptofreedom.com. You can go check it out and watch it. Hi, Stacy on YouTube. Perfect. I am excited. I'm very excited. Check it out. I'm going to actually do this. I have my website up on the screen. Let me show you because we need to talk about this, guys. So liveuptofreedom.com is the website. This is how the website looks like. It always has everything that is happening on it. So sometimes when I say go to my website, this is exactly why. Yes, I have 3 upcoming speaking engagement. This one right here is a fundraising event for James Martyr, who is running for Congress in Illinois. This will be Thursday, September 16th at 5:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. It is on my website for you to RSVP and register. Next one will be on September 18th, top left-hand side. I will be in Illinois. I don't know how to pronounce that name of city, but it is on my website again. And then on the 19th at 6 p.m., I will also be in Illinois. If these are any of the areas close to you, make sure to RSVP. It's free to public, but for safety reasons, they are asking for everyone to RSVP and bring their ID identification when coming to the event. So please go to my website. As you can see, somebody actually told me that I didn't know you have a website. This is my website, liveuptofreedom.com. You can have access to my artist store, make donations, get involved with September 11 project here. I just moved over so it would make a move so you could see. Click there. The betrayal of September 11 and the forgotten victims is the 4-hour broadcast we just did. And I'm just going to keep it scrolling so you know how much information Shadow Band is taking away from you. These are all the reasons, as you can see, September 8th, September 2nd, 1st, 2nd, August 31st, interviews, live feeds. Upcoming webinar tomorrow night with Jonathan Emord. He's a constitutional lawyer who has a lot to tell us. If you want to support, these are the ways you can support. Here are the radios we do weekly most of the time. Some of the articles and patrons, you see. I do have a website that you can avoid shadow banning by just simply going to my website, liveuptofreedom.com, liveuptofreedom.com. Oh, that is wonderful, Stacy. I am very glad to have, or I'm glad you have found me as well. I always love it when I hear from friends and fellow freedom lovers who I have met or been to events, and I know we lose touch thanks to, again, censorship. But you see, I just showed you that there is a way to avoid censorship, which is just directly going to my own website, liveuptofreedom.com. You could subscribe if you want to. You don't have to. But if you want to, you can subscribe. So you don't miss anything, because once a week, only once a week, Wednesday mornings, I send out a newsletter with everything, whatever happened in last week, whatever is coming up next week. So you actually get to not miss anything, or at least miss minimum. So please do go to Live Up to Freedom. And as I said, 3 upcoming events in Illinois: Thursday the 16th, Saturday the 18th, Sunday the 19th. If you can join us, please do. I would love to see you guys there. And let's talk. Now, there's so much I want to talk to you about, but I'm going to try to keep this organized. So I did my best not to get involved with this as much as I could. But there are times where, even though it is not something I want to get involved with, I have no choice but to do. So I just want to say this. I was asked, why is it that I don't talk about it, or if I do, it's like really short or some sarcastic comment about COVID and vaccination. So here's why. Number one, from day one, I said it, and I will continue saying, the COVID situation has been absolutely a distraction. Hi, Mike. How you doing? It has been a distraction. It still is a distraction. Now, please understand, I am not denying that COVID exists. It does. But I do not believe for a second that it is the deadliest disease you can face. And I don't believe for a second that just because it's COVID, it gives our government the right to turn our country into dictatorship like Iran and China, or Russia for that matter. So because of that, I try not to talk about COVID or the vaccine, because my mission is to stop Islamization. So I try to stay concentrated and focus on what should be said and dealt with, especially because everybody else is already discussing COVID and vaccination and vaccine passports and all that. Constantly, I figured it's not something I want to dive into. Now, the reason I'm addressing it today is because I had many of you ask me personally on messages and emails of why I am not. But basically, some of the questions were, am I, are you vaccinated? Are you okay with vaccines? So I figured, seems like some of my lovely supporters are getting a little concerned with my not talking too much about COVID. As far as I normally don't like personal questions, like the whole "Are you vaccinated?" It just automatically takes me to the leftist. But no, I am not Well, I have not been vaccinated for COVID, and no, not because I'm anti-vaccine. I have not taken the vaccine because, one, I don't like being a lab rat, and I don't like injecting my body with something that is absolutely untested, to a level where it's almost a 2-year-old would know that it's untested. And looking at the side effects that I have seen with personal people that I know in life personally, I'm not going to. My chances of catching COVID is almost zero, considering how isolated my life is, thanks to Islamic jihadis who want me dead. The secondly, chances of me dying of COVID are a lot. It's just the chances of me getting, hit by a bus and dying is higher than dying of COVID. I might be wrong, but my body, my choice, right? I rather let my body die of COVID than die of COVID vaccine that has been literally pushed out there overnight. Most likely, somebody said it's what is that organization that approves medication? Wow, I'm drawing a blank on them. If anybody can help me cheat, whatever approved. And I'm like, well, yeah, half of the advertising they show on TV that you're entitled for a lawsuit because you took a medication that was FDA approved. There you go, FDA. Thank you, Mike. FDA, yes. Yes, Kathy, it is FDA. Just because it's FDA approved doesn't mean anything to me. FDA doesn't approve things because they are tested and well put together. FDA approves things that is going to make them money. That's my understanding of FDA. if just because it's FDA approved doesn't mean, woo, FDA approved, it's all good to go. No, there are every day there are courts and lawsuits and uh, people dying of side effects created by many of FDA approved medication or vaccination, including COVID vaccine. So that is the reason I am not vaccinated. Secondly, I grew up with a lifestyle where I was told what to do, how to do it, what to eat, how to walk, what to wear, who to be for too long. Um, I'm gonna try something. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna let you all see Stacy's comment because I think I missed that. Yes, I am pro-life too, Stacy. Anyhow, so I grew up being told what to do. I have developed this really stubborn behavior of no, thank you. You don't tell me what to do. You don't tell me who to be, and you don't get to take away my freedom because I'm not doing what you want me to do. Again, been there, done that, ran from it, escaped from it, survived it. I'm not doing it again. And that's what they are doing. As of right now, they are setting up this dictatorship, as I said. We could call it socialist, communist, Marxist, Islamist, whichever you pick which one you want to call it. But the point is, I still live in America. I'm an American citizen. My Constitution gives me the freedom to choose. Nowhere in Constitution does President of the United States of America is given the right to mandate vaccination. So I'm not going. The more they push it, the more likely I'm going to say no. How about a no? Oh, you want to hear no? Because I'm going to say no. And I'm okay with it. Whatever it is they think they can take away from me, that's fine. Well, they're not going to let me get a job. Well, I'll tell you what, I can't get a job as it is because I'm an Islamophobe, remember? So too bad for them. People like me, we don't have anything to lose because we already lost everything we could by standing up to the evil of Islam. So they can, take their vaccine mandates elsewhere. And I guess I'm here that, oh, interesting. I know my new program is pretty cool because I can actually share or highlight comments. Look what's Lynette saying. I will say I do believe what your son-in-law is saying because, as I said, this vaccine was booked a little too fast. And we have heard testimonies from many doctors who lost their lives and careers and licenses and jobs and income by saying that they have witnessed how this vaccine is basically just a source of manipulation. So anyhow, I hope this answered anybody's question who was concerned with me not talking much about COVID or the vaccine. I refuse to let COVID, vaccine passport, or vaccine mandate distract me from the most notorious enemy of our freedom, which is Islam. I wanted to address it quickly so you know where I stand, just in case if you don't know me personally enough to know that I don't believe a word. A word. Like if tomorrow Biden administration would say, it's September 15th, I would check my calendar. That's how much I don't believe a word they say. And I'm kind of done with their manipulation. I am. By the way, guys, if you haven't done already, please share this video because, well, that's the only way you can help me spread the message. Now, I'm going to go back to what I always focus on, Islam. So we just came past 20th anniversary of September 11. And I just keep watching and I keep watching. And as I said, I watched too many people distracted, seriously distracted. Sometimes I look at Facebook, I'm like, wow, for every 10 posts, friends are posting about COVID, if they would post one of my posts about Islam, I would be so happy because it's a non-stop COVID, 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 COVID. And that's the thing. We have enabled their narrative by giving so much a spotlight to it. We have. Now, don't get me wrong, when it's a major important news about it, absolutely, we need to say something. But the non-stop, his wearing the mask, I was not wearing the mask, his vaccinated, all of that is basically us enabling their narrative. I always say a narrative, well, why do you think, for example, Ilhan Omar or Rashida Tlaib or Linda Sarsour, when I go after them and do a video about them, why do you think they never share that? You think they couldn't unleash their minions to come, call me all sort of names? They could. They don't do it because they use the system of I'm not going to give you the spotlight you're looking for. But we're reverse, we talk about them way more than we talk about us. This might sound a little weird, but oh, I know. So I know about censorship. Trust me, that's why I started all of this with. Uh, we need to. We need to. That's why I started with showing my website at the beginning. Trust me, I understand the censorship, and I'm hoping that my website will be more of a source for everyone to use. But I want to say this: I was watching this movie last night. Um, the Imitation Game. I don't know if you watched it. Um, and if you haven't, it's about the man, the mathematician, um, Alan Turing, who was ordinary in an ordinary life with an absolute genius mind, and he's basically the guy responsible for cracking the German code Enigma that actually cut the war half, saved millions of lives. And I was watching the movie, greatly made, fantastically made, um, but I couldn't help but to think, where did we all decide? And you understand, I understand exceptions are out there. So when I say we, I'm not referring to every single breathing person. But when did we decide that no matter how much somebody does good, no matter how much of a hero they are, if they do one thing that we don't like, then that's the end of it. Just in case, I'm almost sure you all know the story, but he cracked the code and he saved millions of lives and became a war hero. And shortly after, back then in 1951, I believe, he was investigated and, basically convicted of homosexuality, which was a crime in UK. And then, he took or accepted offer of chemical castration over present time. And shortly after, about a year after of, medications, he committed suicide. I know it's disputed, but I would agree with the suicide. And then years later, in 2014, 15, something like that, the Queen of England gave him, pardon. I'm like, well, a little too late. But my point is, this guy basically saved millions of lives. And let's not mention, he's the reason I have this computer in front of me to be able to do what I'm doing with you, which is a live streaming and informing you. But, well, he was, thrown under the bus and then forced to commit suicide. A brilliant mind. And that's just one example of, I'm sure, many heroes who ended up, being thrown on their buses and, treated wrongly, let's put it that way, just because they did something we didn't like. And it goes back to what I always say: can we put aside our little tiny differences, the lifestyle, our background, race, gender, what we do, who wakes up earlier in the morning. We got to put all of that aside. Reason for that. On September 11, 2001, in America, we only had 1,200 mosques. which was still 1,200 too many. But 20 years later, we have 3,000 mosques. And I'll say the reason we have 3,000 mosques 20 years after September 11 is because the conservatives, or freedom lovers, freedom fighters, whatever we want to call ourselves, we decided not to unite under one movement and defend our constitution and freedom, because we decided to pick and choose. We decided to wait, and we decided to have false hope of not on my watch. So I'm hoping somehow, somewhere, something's going to change. Now, Live Up to Freedom is going to approach it that way moving forward. Well, we started it with September 11, where there is no more invitation or teams. It's just Live Up to Freedom is Team Humanity. Pretty much it. I was asked by someone yesterday regarding why they didn't receive an invitation for a special program that was put together for September 11. And my answer actually was, there are no more invitations. There aren't. To fight for freedom and liberty, you shouldn't wait for an invitation. You should dive in. We all have our own expertise. We all have our own thought process. We all have something to offer. Time, money, talent, experience, abilities. There is something we can, now some of us can do 10, some of us can do 1, doesn't matter. Point is, we need to stop asking for invitation and start getting involved in whatever way, shape, or form we can. Because as of right now, not only we didn't learn anything, and when I say we, again, I'm talking about a society, not me and few people who are here with me. I'm talking about as a society. We have not only we haven't learned anything about the evil of Islam, but it looks like we have allowed it to become part of our life in a normalized way. No worries, Paul. You have yourself a wonderful day. It's going to be on Facebook and YouTube even afterwards, so you can come back and catch up. But do make sure to check out my website, liveuptofreedom.com. We need to realize that these jihadis, they are committed. They are committed to evil, but they are committed. So one of the reasons we keep losing to them, and yes, we have lost. I mean, with what's going on in Afghanistan right now, the unholy alliance have won. Absolutely, they won. Afghanistan is under control of Taliban and Al Qaeda. Middle East is back to, well, soon it's going to be burning down. And please don't tell me let them kill each other. Again, there are millions of people in Middle East who do not have anything to do with this. They don't. If they were given the chance, they would live life like we do. They would mind their own business and not kill anyone. So to say something of, let them deal with themselves, that's not a good idea. But point is, Middle East is back to complete jihad. They have 85 billions of our weapon and the technology behind it. We have an administration that I really don't know what's the proper term to use. A joke, embarrassment, evil, disturbing. There are so many words I can use, so let's just call them evil. I'll go with evil. And again, what are we doing is the question. What are we doing about it? We are at a point where knowing is done. We have enough information. It's kind of like if you would look at it as an investigation. They got the evidence. They're not going to sit there and assert the evidence and pile more evidence. They go get an arrest warrant and arrest a criminal. That's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. We have enough evidence. We are aware of unholy alliance. We are aware of red-green axis. We are aware of jihadis walking down our Congress. We are aware of communist socialists inside our White House. It's time for us to now get those arrest warrants. And I kind of sort of literally mean it. It's time, first of all, one of many reasons that I'm going to Illinois on Thursday to speak, to be one of the speakers at James Martyr's event is we really need to start getting behind good candidates. We do. We gotta get behind them. We need to support them. Um, hey, Bill, Northern California, how's the recall going? That's the thing, you see. Probably if those involved with recall in California would all say, well, it's not going to go anywhere and it's all rigged, and what's the point? Today wouldn't be happening, right? I know you, I hope you understand where I'm going with this. I'm try different ways and approach to get people to get involved. Um, Let me do this since Jane asked. Here, I'm going to put this back up on the screen for a second, which is my homepage on liveuptofreedom.com. All my events, everything going on is there. So these two are my September 18 and 19. And again, the top two events are open to public, but you are required to RSVP for safety reasons. So Lake Zurich or Zurich, I don't know how to say that. September 19, Shanahan, or yeah, I never try to pronounce city names. I'm sorry. We always have a Knoxville. September 18, and then on September 16, for James Martyr event, we will be at the venue at Gobert's. And again, all those images on my website, they are all linked. So if you go to my website, liveuptofreedom.com, you'll find the RSVP link. Good for you, John. Good for you. Not that I'm surprised, because you are one of the very aware and well-educated people that I know, and I have had the honor to actually meet you in person. I figured everybody should know. Everyone in California who have voted for elder should post on their page. Let's do the whole voted for elder movement on social media today. But I'm glad. I really do hope that today California turns red. But again, I go back to California. Last place I ever thought that anybody would start a movement. And good for them. They started a movement and they stuck to it regardless of all the complications. They still went forward, and they went forward. That's where we are, ladies and gentlemen. We have got to stand up. We have got to work with each other. The Newsom recall wasn't one person. See, that's another thing I've been struggling behind the scene, kind of, that why is this all, it feels like our site has a lot of this, how do I say it? Like a mafia. It's a group here, and then a group there, and then a group there. Red B is your handle on YouTube. What do you mean by I'm involved but nobody notices? LOL. Trust me, if I'm understanding your comment correctly, that's the whole point, actually. If all of us would be involved, even if nobody was noticed, it's kind of, I have this meme on my page from a few years ago. I said, even, ocean isn't an ocean just by itself. It's drops of water, just one drop. So all of us being a drop, we can create an ocean. I mean, come on, that's what the left is doing, right? That is what the left is doing. Perfect. We have another Californian going to vote for elder. I just said this on your behalf. You didn't say you're going to vote for elder, but if you're here and your ID is American born patriot, I know you're going to vote for elder. Larry Elder needs to be in office by end of the day today. And yes, Angela, it is unholy alliance between the left and Islam. I do need to get going. As I said, I wanted to make sure to do this live feed because for a good, probably week, for a week, I won't be able to do live feed. As you know, I'll be on the road. Uh, I like that. Guys in California, go ahead and post what Kelly said. Um, Good job, Catherine. Voted elder. Oops, my bad. Perfect. I love it. I love it. Keep on voting elder today. I'm not in California, but if I was, I would be voting elder. Larry Elder is the man. And I don't care who said what. Larry Elder is the man. I do have a bottle of Anna, which is my favorite uh, rosé, and I have it ready to pop open tonight as soon as I hear the news that Larry Elder won. But I'm going to wrap this up in two notes. One, as I said, I won't be able to do live feeds because I will be on the road for the events. However, we will be live streaming the events. So try to check my page and hopefully get notifications. Hello, Stacy. I won't be doing live feed like this for about a week, but we will live feed events. And then Tuesday to 21st, please keep your eyes on my page. I will be streaming one of the most important events put together. I'm not one of the speakers. Yay, I've been invited as as press, basically. They have allowed me to go in. You're going to hear from a lot of true conservatives, either in the office or running to get in. So tune in Tuesday, 21st. And as I said, Saturday and Sunday, we will live stream my speeches in Illinois. Thursday, we will also, I think, live stream the Thursday event. And then when I get back, I'll promise to do more live feeds like this and keep you informed. In the meantime, here are a few call to actions. I'm sure you know getting on the road is always not free. And those of you who don't know, organizers can tell you that I do not charge a speaking fee. I just go there out of pocket. So if you like to kind of sort of get behind this on the road, Annie Cyrus back on the road, there are many ways at the bottom of this video or on my website. You can either just directly donate, you can become a Patreon, which is a monthly subscription. You can go to mypillow.com, purchase a good MyPillow product or 2 or 5, do your, hey, Christmas shopping is starting. And then use my promo code AC, Annie Cyrus, AC21. And then other ways you can purchase my art and subscribe to my YouTube paid programming channel, which is the same channel. You just got to join. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate your very, very kind words. So yes, please get involved in any way or shape you can, because I'm going back on the road after almost a year and a half of not being able to hit the road. Comes Thursday, I'm going to hit the road. And there will be more speaking engagements coming up, which on that note, if you want to talk to your churches locally or your local Act for America chapters, feel free to do so. As I said, I'm back on the road. So if you know someone who can organize events in your area or just simply talking to your pastors or Act for America locations, I am back on the road. So help me book more events so we can talk to more people, avoiding shadow banning, and get the message out there, right? Aki News on YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't. LiveUpToFreedom.com. LiveUpToFreedom.com is my website. Everything I do, everything I'm about to do, everything I've done is posted on LiveUpToFreedom.com website. And as I said, we send out one newsletter a week, which is every Wednesday morning, so you can get all the updates on your email if they don't send it to your spam folder, right? You all stay safe, stay vigilant, and do not let this COVID stuff distract you from the bigger enemy, which is Islam, especially under the current circumstances in Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Iran. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and I will see you in another live feed in about a week or so. Bye bye, guys.